Hey everybody! New video today, and unfortunately, not a positive topic, but a topic that needs to be discussed, so bear with me. So anyways, this is take 2 on this video. If you look behind me, I've already shipped some stuff. See this? Shipped here. You missed some ephemera packs. And you missed some decently cool photos, unfortunately. But we're still shipping. Got this right here, which is vintage camera manuals. Just some old Kodak and Brownie camera manuals. Not a whole lot of money, $5. But, you know, still worth selling rather than throwing it right in the old trash can, right? So what are we going to talk about? I know. I mean, I got you on the edge of your seat for nothing. No, it's something that I've been struggling with lately. Sarah a little bit less than me, but still struggling over here. And that is the burnout. And I don't even want to call it burnout, because it's not a burnout. I'm not quitting. There is nothing. Almost nothing. Shouldn't say nothing, because money is a great motivator. But almost nothing that would get me to stop doing what I'm doing. I mean, and within reason, there is nothing. Let me just tell you that up front. Is that, despite the fact that some billionaire comes up to me and says, "Hey, here's $6 million. I want you to work for me," which is never going to happen. But that would get me to change my thought. Now, I would still do this. I'll be honest, because I enjoy doing this. So, you know, in that ridiculous scenario, I would still resell. And I know, well, I'm fairly certain Sarah would too. But, you know, considering that, first of all, that's never going to happen. And second of all, you know, I am here where I am. This is pretty cool. This is a Pennsylvania Railroad timetable is what they're calling it. And it's actually a schedule for the Pennsylvania Railroad. The standard railroad of the world, which is probably pretty cool. Well, they actually had trains that came in and out of Pennsylvania quite frequently. And they don't anymore. I can tell you that, because we would love to take one to Atlantic City. But it's very difficult to do. I don't think it's going to fit in here. That's close. That stinks. So we're going with the bigger envelope. Anyways, so what I'm talking about, yeah, is the burnout. But it's not a burnout. It's just, for me anyways, it's just been a slowdown. Like, and not business. I'm talking about, like, me personally, my motivation is through the floor. It's very difficult for me, you know, or I shouldn't say very difficult, but more difficult than it used to be for me to do things. And and I know why. Because I cannot get away from this. Like, I can't get away from my job. Ever. Ever. It never goes away. Even when I decide to take a day where I'm like, you know what, taking a day off, which I've been trying to do more of lately. Not more of meaning to the point of ridiculousness. I mean more, by the way, we have a do not bend stamp now. For those of you that love the do not bend stickers, we have taken it one step further and we have a do not bend stamp. I like that. I feel very official putting this thing. It's like stamping somebody's passport or something. And it works pretty well. I mean, you know, gets the point across, right? I don't think I'm doing it for anything. Like, I don't expect, this is going to be all over the place, so just bear with me, because I don't want to sit here and whine to you guys the entire time, because that's not the type of person I am. But I do want to talk about it, because so many people talk about the benefits of full-time reselling. And there is tons. It definitely outweighs the bad. But nobody ever talks about this side of it, where your business never goes away. We never close. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I've worked on Christmas. We've had people send us messages. We've talked about it. Somebody complained about a Furby on Christmas morning to us. So it never goes away. And that's part of the problem, is that disconnecting is impossible. We've realized that, like, completely. And yeah, I know you can put your store on vacation mode and take no sales whatsoever and just, sell nothing. And I am going to go on record and just say that I don't know that Sarah and I would be very comfortable doing something like that, because, this is our livelihood. And I would just be afraid that if we did that, the days obviously that were shut off, we'd be expecting, but, would it ramp up afterwards, or would it take a few days for our store to get back to normal, and so forth. And that could be detrimental to us. So, that has just not ever been an option for us. So we know that if we go somewhere, we're going to be fielding some work-related things, or we're going to get messages or something that this was a vintage Crawford County Hotel Men's Association brochure and travel map. That's what this was. Boy, that wouldn't fly now, would it? Anyways, yeah, it's a $8, believe it or not, from the 1920s. Pretty cool. So yeah, we know that that's never going to happen. Like, getting completely away is just never going to happen. But something I just really would like to do is take a few days, and just go somewhere, or just to decompress a little. That's really what needs to be done. And you got to do it. As much as you want to just blast and work and, just go nuts, you got to. It's just part of the deal. If you don't, you're going to end up like me right now, where, I wake up and it just takes a lot longer than it used to get me to get going in my day. Whereas before I'd get up, have some coffee, do something, and then get right to it. Now it's like I have some coffee, maybe I look at social media for a little while, maybe I walk around the house a bit. Sarah's noticed it. She's like, you're just not as upbeat as you always are. And that's part of the problem with this, is that it gets to that point where you're thinking, I just need to disconnect. I just need to unplug as much as I can, because again, we're never going to totally unplug. And that's part of the problem with this. And so, word to the wise, take some time for yourself, take some mental health days, and I hate that expression. I really do, but it is the truth. Take some time for yourself. They say when you have your own business, you should take a weekend, and that you should, take some time and purposely have like a weekend. And I've been trying to do that, and eBay's helped with that, and so for those of you that maybe are experiencing something similar to what I'm experiencing, eBay you have the ability, if you have a store, to schedule listings, and it is free. So they don't charge for it anymore. And lately what I've been doing is I've been scheduling listings for Saturday and Sunday. So that way I don't feel the pressure to list, because a lot of the times when I take days off, and this is part of the problem, again, I'm trying to pepper in some good things. And that's part of the problem. If I decide, tomorrow I'm taking the day off, I'm not doing anything, and I'm taking the day off, 9 times out of 10, I'm sitting on the couch thinking to myself, what am I going to do? Because I don't have a lot that I do. And then on top of that, Sarah's normally working. So when you're sitting there thinking, I'm taking a mental health day, and you're sitting there and your spouse and business partner is working, you feel like a piece of crap. You kind of just sit there and you're like, I really should be working. So, scheduling the listings does help, because then I don't feel like a piece of crap, because my store is, there's 50 plus postcards about to go out. There's a couple, 100 or so photos about to go out. So that helps. I do enjoy that. So yeah, take some time for yourself. So we talk about some sales. We had somebody come through and buy like random Cabbage Patch stuff. They bought some patterns that are used. So some of them are cut apart, some of them aren't. And then this magazine, which is also, just had a big yawn in there, cut it out. So yeah, so some patterns, and these are patterns ready to use, ready to cut also in this magazine. Some of them are cut out of it already. So they bought this, they bought some cabbie roller skates, precious. And then they bought a Cabbage Patch sleeping bag, precious. All of that, roughly 20-ish, $21. So, plus shipping. This person was, you get those people that buy stuff and then they send you a message right after they buy stuff. And 9 times out of 10, when people buy things and then send us a message, it's to ask if we'll combine the shipping, which we will, of course. No problems there. This person, however, wanted to talk about more things, and they get more complicated. They sent us so many messages, and then they wanted to change the address halfway through, and then they were very, and there's 3 different names. That's good too. Well, this is going to get complicated. I don't think I can, well, I can, which I will. So, okay, short version of the story. They bought all this stuff. They wanted a combined invoice for the first 2 things they bought, which was this and, oh no, I'm sorry. It was these 2 things, because we sold these 2 separately. So the magazine and the patterns they bought separately, and then they wanted a combined invoice. So we sent them a combined invoice. They didn't pay. Then the next day they bought the little roller skates, and they were like, hey, just add that to the invoice. And I'm like, okay. So I added it to the invoice and went to go send it, and eBay gave me an error. And I can tell you why they gave me an error is because the name is different and the address is different, but I didn't know that up front. So it gave me an error and said I wasn't able to send the invoice. So I was like, you know what? I can't send you an invoice. Just pay for these and I'll refund you the difference after I ship the 2 that you paid for, or the 2 that I send you the invoice for, and then these. And then they decided to buy this later on that day. And they're like, hey, can you just add that to the invoice? And I'm like, as I said in the last message, I can't send an invoice. So then I heard nothing. Sarah gets up and fields a message from this person, and I wasn't awake yet, and says, oh yeah, I can send you an invoice, without knowing, because they sent it on this, which they had just bought. So the previous thread wasn't even there. So then she's like, yeah, I'll send you an invoice. And I'm like, oh, crap. So I sent this person a message again and explained the situation, and they were like, oh, well, I'll just pay for it, and then you can refund the difference, but it does make me nervous. And I'm like, we have 100% positive feedback. We do this all the time. Like, we're going to refund you, I promise. So then they send another message, and they're like, can you make sure to ship it to the Pennsylvania address? It'll be cheaper than my North Carolina address. I'm like, oh, not really, but okay. We'll do that for you. So yeah, and then so this was like 30 plus messages on different, like they'd send some messages on the roller skates, and then they'd send some messages on the sleeping bag, and then, so like it was all over the place. And so finally I got this person to finally just pay for everything separately, and now we're going to refund the difference. And then they started complaining about the fact that the roller skates made them put a payment method in, and it's all this. Like, good Lord, this isn't hard. Just pay for everything, and I'll refund you any difference that it is. That's it. Like, this doesn't need to be that difficult. But it was. So, yeah. So that was fun. Hey, I don't do enough of this, but if you guys are enjoying this video, hit the like button. We'd really appreciate it. It helps the channel out immensely. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you might as well. It's totally free. Not going to cost you a penny, so don't worry about hitting subscribe and then, me asking you for $20 a month, because that's not going to happen. If you want to pay me $20 a month, though, you can use the super thanks right down below. That works, too. But you don't have to do that, of course. And subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome. We do a live show every Thursday and Sunday night at 9:30, so a little bit different feel than stuff like this, but still lots of fun. Now back to me. All right, done talking about that. Maybe we'll sprinkle in a little bit more. Today's been a pretty good day as far as sales go. We did sell all of this, which you probably can't notice the size of that from back there, but yeah, all of that plus a couple ephemera packs, and then the Cabbage Patch stuff that we just discussed. We did sell something else Cabbage Patch related, which are also precious, are these. They're little boots. They're like little cabby purple Timberland looking boots. And normally these would go on a doll, and Sarah would sell them with the doll, but they're valuable. Little cabby boots, $20. We had them listed for 22, took an offer for 20. Yeah, from 1996, so newer Cabbage Patch stuff, but still valuable nonetheless, because they just didn't make a lot of these. So cabby boots, kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, if I were a Cabbage Patch, I would like to have some mountain boots for myself. We're gonna throw them in a little box too, tiny little box. So yeah, good week. Better start to this week than last week, but we kind of, I don't know if, for those of you that may have, commented and said how bad sales were, this is a lot of box for these little tiny boots. I have a smaller box, but I don't like using it because we have 5x5x5 boxes, and they're just asking to get lost. So I'd use the bigger 7x7x7 boxes for stuff like this, because this is, some pretty valuable. Well, $20. I would not want to refund the $20 just because I picked a box that was too small. So it is what it is. Anywho, but yeah, for those of you that maybe didn't know, the 4th of July holiday for us has notoriously been bad, sales-wise, because it's just, everybody's either traveling or they're, doing cookouts and stuff like that, so it's very seldom good. We have had, 2019's 4th of July wasn't bad, but that was a little different. People were stuck in their houses, and buying things online was the best they could do, so, all things considered. But yeah, this year, not great, but this week has been off to a pretty good start, so happy about that. Sold a postcard today too. I wish I had it to show you guys. It's super cool, but it was Steve McQueen's house in Hollywood, California. Sold for $15. And it was, it was a linen poster. No, was it chrome? Let me see. Yeah, it was a chrome postcard. I'll put a picture up just to show you guys, because it is pretty awesome. It's a chrome. Yeah, chrome card. So, but yeah, Steve McQueen's house, Palm Springs, California. Sold for $15. Like those. Got 3 cents into it, sold it for 15. How about that? Also had another really cool sale. I'm not going to pack it up because I've discussed before, Sarah's much better with fragile things than I am. This is a Rubens anthropomorphic baby lamb planter. Well, this little guy right here. And it's like a little planter. How you can tell that this is Rubens, I have no idea. I probably should have asked Sarah before I talked to you guys about it, but there's the marking. My camera would stop focusing on the pineapple and focus on what I want it to focus. There we go. No, it's not focused. Never mind. There's a number on the bottom of it, which I imagine would be the marking that you're looking for. Right there. Maybe. Can we focus on it? No. Anyways, there it is. $59 plus shipping for this thing, and this is way out in left field for us. We don't buy stuff like that unless it's valuable and we can get it cheap. And Sarah paid $1 for it, so $1 into 59, we'll take it. But yeah, she's gonna have to go ahead and ship that out. Hey everybody, we're gonna start this video with a public service announcement. For those of you buying collection of postcards, this is new to me. Maybe it's common. I've never seen this before, but see this looks like a postcard. Looks like a postcard, right? See? Looks kind of like a postcard. It's not. It's just a piece of paper. So I bought this whole collection of postcards. Now, some of them are, I mean, these are, you know, these are actual postcards, but, well, not these ones, but these ones are actual postcards. But some of them are full sheets of these, like someone tore them out of a magazine. And I'm a little frustrated about it because I don't know that I would have paid that much had I noticed. And I mean, I just kind of thumbed through this book. I mean, I can't look at all of them, and I got a pretty good deal on it, so we're still going to make money, but this sucks. This sucks. So, yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. Like, they just cut out things from, like, a magazine or something and put it in here. And it even is printed on the same type of paper. Like the linen style paper. It's so weird. Didn't know this existed. But now I know. And I won't be not checking the bendability again. I mean, we still got all these, all those. These are all kind of throwaways over here. This is all going to be for ephemera pack. So, I mean, I paid $50 for all of this. And there's plenty of stuff in here. You know, and there's plenty of stuff that is actually postcards, but man, I feel like I got kind of gypped. This sucks. Ah, well, what are you gonna do?
Good day, sir.